Yo, Nova stepped in the room. Shout out Nova. For those of you who don't know, Nova's our rival. Yeah, from Pyro Radio.
Hey.
What's been happening anyway, Nova?
Just here, man. We're going straight in. Yeah, I'm just.
We might as well. I think we got quite. When I announced you were coming on, I had a lot of like, yeah, Nova's coming. Ask him this, like this. You know what I mean? So I think we got quite a bit to get through. Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
So recently, you've been on the news a lot.
I've been on the news. Yeah,
I've seen you on the news.
A little on the Russian news. You know what I'm saying?
Why?
The English news, you know, they're not really trying to show the real like.
Yeah. The Russians,
although they hollered as well. You know what I'm saying?
What happened with that?
The British Broadcasting Company or whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you know, they hollered like a few different times. So I was on RT News, the Russian Russia Today network,
I've been a watcher of RT for years.
Yeah,
so
because
I know about RT.
They keep it true, you know, because they ain't got to like appease the bankers of the UK and all of the people that's in the establishment.
They're not owned by Rupert Murdoch. That's basically what it comes down to. You know. So
they sometimes tell more accurate news about what's going on here than we do.
Yeah.
But anyway. So if you want to watch it, you know what I'm saying? It's on Sky. They've got a UK channel. It's in English.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So if you want to know what's going on in England, you ask the Russians, basically. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Strangely enough, yeah. But so basically, you know, we had this story with the UK drill artists.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
In the news, and you know, before that, we had the story of you know, a lot of violence and murders happening in London with young people, right?
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of stories of blaming rap music and blaming specifically drill music. So, you know, I was just sitting, going off on Facebook like I do, cussing all these like middle class, right wing, like UK hip hop, either perpetrators or pacifists. You know what I'm saying? And like randomly, yo, I need them bombs on my show. But, you know, first it started with dissing the ones that was going at the parents. You came on my show and we spoke about Cy Philly. Shout out my brother Cy Philly. You know, since we
Yo, I see Cy Philly the other day. Shout out my man,
my brother.
Shout out my man.
I'm looking forward to the Five Live Cypher album coming. You know what I'm saying? But you know, then so Awate hollered at me.
Yeah.
Because he was asked to go on RT News to talk about this thing, right? He was actually the one meant to do it.
Okay.
But I'd been on there before, and they hollered like, "Yo, can you?" He hollered like, "Oh, can you do this? Because it's my birthday. I'm doing some family stuff." So I was like, "Yeah, cool." So I went down there, and they put me up against. I can't even remember his name. He was the guy I was talking. I was like
I did watch the clip. The guy, he was a what did he use?
He was like a
one of them
security like officer, like military officer of some sort.
Something like that.
He
was up there, weren't he? He was in the.
Anyway, whatever, innit? It's on Flip Life YouTube. You can go and watch the whole thing. But yeah, you know, they put us together. Like he was saying, he agreed that the music was to blame, the drill music, and I was saying, don't be stupid, you know. And I came with facts and figures and stuff like that. He came with, you know, I'm in an Ari.
Drivel. He came with drivel.
You know? And you know, that was interesting. And then the BBC hollered, like they saw it. So I was asked to go on to Victoria Derbyshire, which is a big show on the BBC where they debate stuff. And I think I hadn't really watched it much, but I looked into it. You know, she got a bit of a reputation of going in on man on some like Piers Morgan thing and all of that. Like, so I was thinking, right, this is going to be a lot. Like, I better be ready for her. But on the morning they backed out, and then BBC Radio 5 heard, you know, they wanted me to talk about this stuff, but you know, I don't think they're ready sometimes. You know, I'm in radio already, so I'm here. You know?
This is free speech. Yeah, this is one of the last places you can actually say, you know what I mean? It's what you want.
And I'm not even like, I'm for free speech, but you know, there's issues with that too. You know?
Well, there's free speech, and then there's going around causing deliberate offence.
Yeah.
You understand?
Free speech comes with consequence, you know. But
it can do. If being able to, you know, the right of free speech is a consequence, because it means that anybody can get up and say anything.
Yeah.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Like, they have been doing, you know.
I've seen it. Do you know what I mean? I've seen a lot, but go back to what you were saying. I don't want to. I did see a few UK hip hop artists and they were like celebrating the you know, the videos being, the drill videos being taken down off of YouTube. I did see that myself. I personally, I did. I didn't comment on nothing. I wanted to. There was times I wanted to say something. So I thought, you know what? I ain't gonna say nothing. Yeah. I'd rather bring it out on a platform like here. Yeah. Rather than have it on here, because I've realised, I'm not being funny. We all use Facebook, but the vast majority of Facebook is low level. That's what I've realised. It's low level, and sometimes you can be giving all your opinions and all this information to a bunch of idiots. So I try to keep it off of Facebook.
Wise man said, "Don't argue with a fool."
That's it. And you don't know who's an idiot on Facebook. Anyone can copy and paste anything.
When you say UK hip hop, right? You said you saw UK hip hop. I'm going to do quotation marks for those who can't see the video. Yeah. What do you mean? Who do you like? I don't mean names.
I
don't mean names. I mean like, what do you mean? Do you mean like? Do you mean Mo Stack?
I mean, if it had been like in that
the old guard UK hip hop scene, is that what you mean? I'm from that as well. It's not an insult. That's not an insult. That's not an insult. That's my people, my
family. Okay. So
or the underground UK hip hop scene.
What you mean? I don't even like to differentiate it. It's just a man.
Neither do I. But
rappers I know have been celebrating people I know that are into rap and supposedly into rap culture, celebrating it.
That's what I'm saying. Rap in the UK, especially the more underground you go, it seems the ones who like to claim underground, they become way more middle class.
I'll give you another example because you will know about this one. Another example. J Huss's arrest.
Yeah, J Huss's arrest.
Now, another example. I've seen people that I thought were. I've even tried to promote my music to them in the past. So I've seen people that I thought were...
and imagine if that happened to you, like they'd be sitting there celebrating.
It's his own fault. It's his own fault. He got himself into it. His parents are to blame. Yeah, I know. And that's the problem. For me, that's what I'm starting to notice. I'm starting to notice, okay, we've got that sort of...
I don't know if it's an age thing. I can't tell, but it definitely seems more middle class nowadays. Like, in that, hip hop, like... I see your brother write something on Twitter, yeah? Genesis Elijah, he wrote, he was just like, yo, don't ever, like, come at me, like, if I end up in trouble or doing something for something I said in my music, like, don't start coming at me like, I should, like, attacking me for it. Like, I told you. So it's like J Hus raps about this stuff all bloody day. And you all celebrate, of course. And then something happens, like, oh my gosh. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is hip hop, it's street culture. We're supposed to, if you don't understand it, don't comment, man.
That's it, yeah. Well, it's I've seen a few things, and I'm like, some of this stuff is borderline. You understand? Some of these comments, what it is with me, it's like some of the words, some of the things these rappers were saying. It could have easily come out of the mouth of like a BNP member. Do you see what I'm saying? If you took away a few factors,
that's why, and man get mad with me, innit? And that's why what I've been telling them, man, when I talk to them recently, is I'm like, yo, you see what you're saying? That is a right wing middle class narrative, and then they get all offended. I'm just saying, no, but you're saying the same thing as what them man say.
Yeah.
Like, I know your reason's different, and you've come to that realization for whatever. You feel is justified, but you're still saying the same thing what them man are saying. And just to be clear, like, obviously there's problems with violence, and I don't like celebrate any of those things. Young people dying and carrying knives, or J Hus carrying a knife. But we have to have like understanding. We're never going to solve that problem unless we understand those young people and the reasons they're in that position, why they felt. That's a young man with a very successful career. If he was even carrying a knife, which I'm not sure, because I think it's suspect, because this has happened many times before. But if he was, it wasn't like he's in fear of his life. He's been stabbed before, he's been run up on before, so he's in fear. Like, that's worrying. Why are we in a situation where a young man can have a legitimate career who's still in fear for his life and situation, because we live in a place where we're not protected by the police. You can't turn to them because the police are not trusted. Because they're not trusted for good reason, because they're not accountable for anything. Because they do badness to us and they're not accountable for it. Me and Big Ben was talking about this the other day. We said the whole system could probably change, and we might be able to build relationships with the police if they were accountable if there was a system where they could be held accountable when they do something wrong, then everything could change. We could start to actually say, okay, they can be all right now because they can't really get away with those kind of things. So, they could actually do their job, and we could,
Well, that's the next thing I was going to actually bring up, because I'm not being. I've even heard. I've even heard.
Where's this going?
No, because I've even heard. See, now I'm talking about people who I know from the scene. Remember, I've been around on the scene for. We're talking. Like I've been around since for you're talking 18 years. So I've been around the scene.
As long as
people I know and respect.
Yeah.
And, I've heard people talking about call the police. Fair.
Call the police.
And where are? What I want to know. And what I want to know.
I see someone really close to us say that yesterday.
What I want to know is, where are we in regards to this whole no snitching culture? Is that something to be upheld?
I still stand by no snitching being something that we uphold, because the police are not a solution.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't that doesn't mean I don't probably portray snitches get stitches and to that kind of extreme, Yeah. But it's not something I'm doing. I don't speak to the police. That's my life, my choice. You know what I'm saying? But I tell my people around me that pretty much. I tell my daughter that pretty much. You know what I'm saying? But there's exceptions to that. You know what I'm saying? And I see some people also say, if you're not in that life, it doesn't apply to you. And I kind of get that.
Who's making these rules?
The streets, isn't it?
And what do we get for following these street rules? What's the reward?
It's where we are, isn't it? There's no reward. It's just it's a moral code.
Okay, fair enough. For me, do you know why? Because I don't really know that side of things. I don't break the law really to have to worry about. It's not
just about breaking the law.
No, but the thing is, I don't have to talk to police much anyway. You understand? When I do talk to police, it's just
but they might come and bother you all the same. They do bother you.
Yeah, they might bother me. But
they came and bothered you when the riots happened for no reason, no?
They did, but then at the same time, at the same time, my own fault. I was associating with people.
Terra, listen to what you're saying,
associating with people.
You see what they're doing? They're making you blame yourself.
Of course,
they're making you blame yourself.
Yeah, but listen, I know how this country works.
How did we just turn around from where we were a minute ago?
Yeah, because I'm saying this is the truth of the matter is. Truth of the matter is, it was I did get wrongfully arrested, but at the same time, it was my bad, because I shouldn't have been mixing with the people.
Because you was around near people who were.
I shouldn't have been. So of course, of course it was bad. But in hindsight, in hindsight, there's because obviously, they know I didn't do anything.
Bro, people end up around people, innit? Like, it's natural. You can't be like to blame.
But we're in England. Well, you have to understand, we're in England. So while you're in England, you can sit there and be like, oh, but it's my right. I have the right to. But really and truly, you ain't got. The truth is, you haven't got much rights in this country. Do you know what I mean? You have rights you think you have, but the truth of the matter is, you can be Mark Duggan, you can be so and so, whoever. If it comes down to it, and the police can do whatever they want to you, that's the law. Because the law is the police can do whatever they want to you. They want to arrest you.
Because there's no system which holds them accountable.
Yeah, fair, exactly. But the fact of the matter is, if they want to arrest, like the way I look at it, I'm lucky the police haven't killed me. Yeah. That's all I'm grateful for. I'm lucky they ain't stitched me up, put me in prison, and they ain't killed me, because you know what I mean. It could be worse. Obviously.
Yeah. But so exactly. So if we live in that kind of a system, then speaking to the police, it just has to be a no.
It can't be. But fair enough.
But there is situations where I think fair enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like the way I see it is, if you go out there and you do some crime, like you do a murder or you stab someone in public, don't be surprised if somebody speaks to you. Understand? If it's some old lady. So this is another thing people have to be realistic about. You can't expect the average, your Joe average, to adhere
when
to
you're just doing badness, like like when people do really bad things and they just murder
wicked people, them
vulnerable people and things like that.
Yeah.
Like, then you think, whatever. I'm not saying I don't know what I would do in a situation where I knew about that, but I'm not I wouldn't judge the person speaking to the police for the dude who killed the old woman.
It is what it is,
or like things that happen to women in general, and you know,
I think, yeah.
There's probably quite a few things, but, you know, anyway, where I'm from, we don't talk to police.
I hear that.
You know, like, what was the Cameron interview? And he said, "Oh, would you ever speak to the police?" And he was like, "Yeah, hey, how you doing?"
Yeah. So it's
that's
a thing.
about it.
Yeah, it's like, okay, look. Bottom line is, if I have to speak to them, like they approach me and I have to, you know, that's cool, isn't it? But I know, but as the whole idea of literally going and informing. You understand?
Yeah,
and it, you know what I mean?
Bro, like this man there's, you know, it's mad because people out here make money doing that stuff.
Well, yeah,
and that's when we go back to the, you know, the moral code. What are you really doing? Like, you're a rat. You're literally a rat.
That's it. I hear you. But, you know, anyway, so you've been doing a lot of campaigning for the Labour Party. How's that going?
That's a while ago, man.
You're not doing it no more.
No, I'm still doing it, but, you know, I'm a member of the Labour Party. You know what I'm saying? So I'm busy, so I don't really I don't go to all the meetings and stuff like that. But I've been meaning to start going to the meetings, getting my face shown, and, you know, maybe one day run for council. You know, people tell me to do it, so like I'm gonna wait till I get all the tattoos on my neck and all of that, and maybe on my face, and then I'm gonna change my name to Novar by default. I don't want to have to go there under my government name. And people know me as Nova. So when I stand, then I go and run. You know, I want it to be under the name people know me by. Anyway, all jokes aside, I may consider that further down the line. You know, I was involved in campaigning for the Labour Party to a degree. You know, in my own personal. Through my own personal means of communication and social media and my radio shows and stuff like that, and my links, but also I helped to build a youth voting initiative called Rise Up, right? But that wasn't to do with the Labour Party. That was to do with us just getting young people to get engaged and, you know, watch what's going on and telling them to vote. Look, you know, go and read the manifestos and choose and, you know, vote, because the more of them that get involved, the more difference we can make, the more of a balanced decision we can make. Because at the moment, you know, all these it's just old white guys that are
taking advantage of the vote.
Dictating who's going to be in power. Because enough of us, man, don't vote. You know what I'm saying? Terra Slim. Yeah.
And I will never vote.
Yeah.
And but that's for my, you know, I don't. It's not about me right now. It's not even about me. It's not about me. It's not, you know. I personally wouldn't, but I have my reasons. You know what I mean? But then, if a man wants to vote, he can vote. I personally think that I'm a bit funny about. I look at the Labour. I'm quite suspicious about the Labour Party anyway.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean?
For sure.
What's up with
I stay like that.
What's up with what is that with the anti? So what I want to know.
Don't ask me some stupid questions.
No. This is what I want to know. No, this is what I want to know.
Listen, bro. Listen, I've been telling you already about the right wing UK hip hop circle. Don't show me that you're the ringleader.
No, not at all. What about this? There's been lots of because I read the news sometimes.
The right wing news.
All news is right wing. All news is right wing. Yeah, so I read the right wing publications.
You're gonna bring me a red top tabloid news story now.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm
gonna because I want to hear somebody because right now most people when they answer this question, straight away before any kind of logic, the emotions just take over and it's just like you know what I mean. So the anti-Semitism in Labour.
What
is that so it's not because from what the media, the right wing media has put across is that it's a problem within the party. So I want to know.
To be honest, bruv, there's more anti-Semitism in UK hip hop, you know.
Well, give an example. Give an example.
Nah, I'm alright.
Because you got to be very careful because what happens now is a man might get called anti-Semitic because he don't like the policies of the state of Israel.
Yeah, of course.
As opposed to he's got a problem with the religion. You understand?
And that's the same place that it comes from, you know. So I don't know the whole thing because the whole story of how they've tried to continue the story of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, but I do know where the thing with Corbyn, where he co-signed a picture a mural that was on the wall. You seen it?
Do you know what? I didn't see the picture. Someone explained it to me.
So someone showed it to me in a barber shop, right? Not my barber, a barber that in the next chair who I always chat to, right?
Yeah.
And he's actually Jewish, right? He's mixed race, but he's Jewish, right?
Okay.
So he shows me he's like, yo, yeah, he's coming at me because he knows, he knows I'm a Corbyn Mandem and all of that.
Okay.
So he's like, yo, this is anti-Semitic. Like he didn't deal with it well enough. Like he's sticking it on me. He's like, look at this. And I was just like, I kind of like it. I kind of like it still.
Yeah, but he was a mixed race. He's mixed race of what?
He's mixed race. I'm not sure that but he's definitely part Jewish, you know.
But is he part black?
Yeah, part black.
But he was more offended of the portrayal of the Jewish. Do you know what I'm saying? So
the Jewish people, then the black guys under the table.
Yeah, he wasn't offended by that part. Okay.
I don't know. Yo, I'm gonna ask him this next time I see him. That's a great analogy. But I just looked at it and I was like, yo, I kind of like it. It's kind of dope.
And he didn't like it.
I would have supported it too. It's not anti-Semitic. And then he broke it down to me and he explained to me why it was, and I had to in the end accept that it was.
In what way was it?
It doesn't matter really, to be honest. Like, just the fact that all the pictures, the portrayal of all these people that were obviously like Jewish men and their features, and the fact that they're all sitting in these positions of power, and really, it's just another stereotype, And he broke it down a lot better than I will ever be able to hear. And the reason I had to accept it is the same with many types of racism, etc. Like, I'm not, of that race or that culture he's explaining to me, but he is. So if he's telling me it's offensive and explaining to me why, and that's his experience, I can't really challenge that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Me being a white English male.
Okay. Another thing I was going to ask, because just as they're saying, there's a lot of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party. I've also heard lots of reports of anti-Islam in the Labour Party.
Okay, I haven't seen those.
Yeah, do you see what I'm saying?
I ain't seen those, man.
I don't want to go too into it.
Check this, fam.
Yeah.
There's anti-Semitism. There's definitely anti-Islam everywhere.
See.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, people are anti-Islam everywhere. Like, that's the newspaper is anti-Islam all day. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally yesterday, like, I don't even want to say his name and hot him up, but you know what I'm saying, like a black brother who I mess with, who's got a clothing label or whatever, and he's kind of in the scene, yeah. He shared like a mad like anti like
Britain's first post.
a meme, that was literally like mocking Muslims basically, yeah. And then like I was like, right, that's not cool. And then a Muslim brother has written like, yo, I don't find that funny. And then he's like, get over it, rah.
Yeah.
And then like the white dudes that just started popping up in a thread with like the St. George's Cross backgrounds on their picture and that.
Okay.
Started saying some outrageous things, and the black brothers I'm like, yo, why go on for your mates and that? And he was just like, it was mad, fam. It was mad. But I'm saying that's the picture of the country we live in right now. You know what I'm saying? And it's not just white brothers doing it as well. I was in a chicken shop yesterday with Kingpin, right? Yeah. And these this young guy's come in, young black youth, and he's like, he's kind of mocking the Asian dude behind the counter. Like in to his brethren. And I kind of caught eyes with him, like, what are you doing? And he just kind of eased up and stopped. And then about 5 minutes later, there's a next dude who's just bugging about his order or whatever. And like, he's turning into his brethren. He's like, it's these Asians or something. Yeah. And I'm like, I thought it was the same youth. You know what I'm saying? For a minute. Because he looked kind of the same. And I was like, no, this guy's much older. And I was like, two in a row, just on some mad racism thing. Yeah. To the dude in the chicken shop at random.
But do you think there might be lots of, what's the word I'm looking for? My vocabulary is terrible. Do you think there could be frictions or tensions between different ethnic groups in London?
Of course.
Yeah, in 2018 still.
It seems so.
Yeah.
It seems so. Well, I don't usually see that, innit? But I see it 2 times in a row. Then like, I was just shocked.
All right, another. Do you think that this whole because recently when I saw the video of the Tommy Robinson supporters in central London, I did see quite a few black guys in there.
Yeah.
I don't know if you saw it as well.
No, I didn't see that
saw
video.
Quite have a look. When you have a look, and I mean, and the reason I saw them because they were quite near the front.
And I feel
outside Parliament.
And I feel like, and this is what I'm just coming to these realizations now. But thinking about what I saw yesterday and what you're saying, yeah, I feel like a lot of that is to do with the anti-Islam narrative that is being pushed. Like, so, you know, black brothers and people, other races who are not, because Muslims are now the enemy.
Yeah.
And bruv, don't get it twisted. It's been like that from man was young, innit? Because when man was young, like white brothers and black brothers would chill together. Enough man would be like, yeah, we don't like Asians though. Like that kind of thing. Like, I remember that, and then I remember that kind of stopping. You know what I'm saying? Or like it not happening around my end so much because there was bare Asian brothers.
Well, the Asian brothers got to a certain age and started rolling deep, started putting that work in, and man stopped. You know what I mean? Man stopped talking. Do you know what I mean?
But now, yo, it's mad. Like Islam is the enemy in British press and everything that we seem to see a lot.
What I noticed, because do we know what it was? I noticed, I didn't want to have to say this because it all comes back down to the whole, you know what I mean? You get me, all this politics and all this stuff that I really can't get into. But when it was the Corbyn campaign, I noticed a lot of people who were voting Corbyn. So I noticed them because they had their I'm voting Corbyn, I'm voting Labour, But then I'd see some of the things that they'd be writing. You understand? I'd see the things they'd be writing.
Like what?
About Muslims, Palestine.
I never saw none of
no, but I'm just going by. That's why I asked you.
Propaganda.
No, but I'm just talking. This is people that I would, friends of friends, mutual friends.
That's very rare. That's strange.
But that's what I saw during the campaign. I saw certain things, you know what I mean, like some, borderline, sharing some posts of, you know what I mean, certain memes and certain things.
People are confused, innit? Individuals, people are confused. But I don't know, most, voting for Corbyn, for the most part, I would see people who, want to see a difference and who are a bit more, forward thinking and liberal in what they want to see happen in this country,
Yeah. But I don't know, I felt like a Corbyn voter could quite literally come from one extreme. You understand? So I see.
Yeah, well, I thought this, right? You had the what they called the the racist party that was running off. I can't forget.
My man's party.
What were they called? They're not the EDL. The EDL, UKIP. That's it. UKIP. Yeah. UKIP hop. Remember that was a new brand. That's the new brand of hip hop we started noticing, right? When Corbyn came along, them UKIP voters and all of that, they also want a change, innit? They're also angry at the government. Yeah. So they might look at him as an alternative vote, as a rebellion at the same time, Yeah. But obviously, his stance on racism, etc., is not going to be very friendly to them, so it might not last for long. But I do feel like, maybe some of those extremes might have caused people from over there to think, we'll vote Corbyn as the rebellious vote. Even Donald Trump, in a sense, he was the rebellious vote. Because we've had enough of this system, so we're just going to vote him in.
Yeah, of course. Of course, but turn out Donald Trump he's actually doing better for America.
Yeah, he's actually doing better. You really are the right-wing UK hip-hop king. You're the king of UK hip-hop, man. mate. I know. Like, we try not to fan the flames of conflict and discord, But in this occasion, and because we're talking about UKIP, I want to ask you. I want to ask you about Alex Dye. Do you think? I don't respond to that name, man.
All right, listen, okay, listen. Alex Sawyer. I would like to ask you about Alex Sawyer. Do you think?
What I'm saying, man's gone.
No.
Dirty Alexander. Or something. I don't even want to say all that because that sounds like I'm bringing up shots and all that again as well. That's what man them say on the internet and all that. I'm not really the one to say that, but man said, he whose name, I think Greg Blackman came up with this one. He whose name shall not be pronounced in patois. Like that's his new name.
Yo, shout out to Greg Blackman. We need to get him on this show.
Well, do it, man.
Look at some jokes. So basically, what I want to know, because I'll be real with you. Yeah,
I don't really talk about this no more.
I'll be real with you.
You're not going to make me, but I don't really talk about this no more.
I'll be real with you. The whole country, or everyone who knows or cares, thinks that man is a racist. Now, do you
Him?
My man there. Now, do you think he's a racist, or do you think
that is a great...
do you think it's just an attention-grabbing act that went wrong?
That's a great question. Instead of, you know what, that was really great. Instead of trying to get me to talk about the situation, that is a great way to do it. But I don't like to call people racist. Listen, and not to get it twisted. Like, listen, you're laughing because you see me do it maybe so many times. Maybe, I don't know. But listen, I don't really. Sometimes in a moment, I call a man racist, and I've called him racist at times, but I didn't for ages, ages and ages. And even when I did, it's just in a moment, you know, to make man see something. But really, like, racism to me is not a person. It's not a thing that a person is. It's not a characteristic, right? It's a system, you know. Okay. Racism is a system of oppression. Okay. And same as sexism, misogyny, same as homophobia, all these things. They're systems of oppression that are in society that we're all programmed to contribute to, you know. So I contribute to them sometimes in ways and that I've learned in life. So what I've taken on board in realizing that is to look out for it, be aware of it, and adjust as I'm going, right? So whether he intentionally was a racist or not, his contribution was large because of his, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, like this is my thing. Like, you know, like the Nigel Farage, UKIP and that. They don't think they're racist either. So everyone says, "Oh, I'm not racist," and they will go, "Oh," and this is why, right? This is why we shouldn't call people racists, right? And I like, because as soon as you call someone a racist, go, "You're a racist," they go, "What? I've got 6 black baby mothers." You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's the new "I've got black friends." You know what I'm saying? What's the whatever his name is version.
I've got black mates and they'll have you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So it's like that gives you an excuse for everyone to go, "Oh, hey, see, he's not racist." Like Tommy Robinson's not racist. Do you know how much people have been saying that online for the last few weeks, right?
Well, what I would say, Tommy Robinson has been very clever not to mention anything racist on camera.
Yeah, but come on, you know what I'm saying? Like, but then they go, "Oh, Islam's not a racist religion." Like all them dumb moves there. Like the reason they target that religion isn't because of the race of people that follow it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But just don't call people racist because it gives, as soon as they got to get out close straight away. So when we focus on the racism and not the racist, then it's a difference. We get some more progress. So that whole situation I had with my man was because he was playing a part in racism. Okay. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying he's a racist. Although eventually he started sending me anti-Black Lives Matter videos and all of that. You know, like when he probably like lost his mind after I destroyed him and all of that. Like I think, I don't know, maybe then it became attention-seeking. You know? Probably attention-seeking to start with as well, it's true. Okay. You know, like you know, that's an element of that. But when you're attention-seeking, when you're, like, using racism or using someone's disadvantage in life, things, you know, that the system has against them that you don't have, as a marketing tool or like for attention or whatever, that's a serious disrespect. Do you know what I'm saying?
But do you think it was done with that much? Like, I hear what you're saying. It's true.
With that much malicious intention.
Do you think that much thought went behind it?
I didn't.
Or was it just more of a case of?
I didn't at first, but the things that followed, man, I don't know.
But do you think a lot of that could have been out of just anger and frustration?
It's calm to just out of anger, just like, oh, I'm just angry. I don't get that, bro.
He sent me a few. Between me and you, well, and everyone else listening, even I got certain things which I would have said, boy, that's borderline. Yeah. Respect, yo.
Respect, family.
Blessings to Platinum Vibes and the family. One love always. Yes, respect. So
are you saying he sent you racial abuse?
No. I would have said in certain conversations, things were said that were very close to the line. You could always say over the line, but then at the same time, part of me probably provoked it. Do you see what I'm saying? I probably provoked it.
You're blaming yourself again. Listen, at the end of the day, I don't want to talk about this guy no more, really.
I hear ya.
But listen, like I said, the racism, not the racist. I didn't want things to go the way they went with him.
Yeah.
I wish him the best. You know what I'm saying?
Big up to Alex Dutty.
In a sense, I don't want to see him doing it. I don't want to see him out here spreading that message. I don't really rate that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't want to see him winning like that. But I don't want to see him I don't wish bad on nobody.
But,
you know what I'm saying? I wish enlightenment on him and him to do something better with his time.
Of course, but do you respect the fact that his freedom of speech and his freedom of his views?
So like I said, freedom of speech comes with consequence, isn't it? So
I hear you. He took
someone said
advantage
to
of
me
his
the other
right.
day. Someone said, I was defending the drill artists' freedom. I wasn't using the word freedom of speech. I don't even like using that. But other people was portraying what I was saying as their freedom of speech. And I was like, and he was like, what about these and the racists and should they have freedom of speech? And I was kind of like, they can, but we should stick it on them when they do. You know what I'm saying? Like, calm. So
where do we draw the line then?
I drew the line, didn't it?
Okay.
I drew the line, didn't it? Okay. The line was there. You know what I'm saying? I said, this one can't run. Get out.
Yeah.
And now he's gone.
Well, I wanna play one tune.
Okay.
Before we go into the next part of this very, very interesting interview.
Big head, you're such a big head, and everybody knows it, everyone but.
This is the last time we're ever gonna play this tune. We gotta hear it.
We'll put it to bed.
And this is payback. This is payback. This is big head. You're such a big head. And everybody knows it, everyone but
I'm in radio.com.
You're a big head. You'll soon be dead. And this is payback. This is payback. This is
We are heading to absolute towards a one world government where you will be a slave, I will be a slave. We will not have any rights, any control.
I'm not gonna lie. There's so much music and things going on, and there's so much knowledge and man dropping all this
right outside the station.
Knowledge in the music.
What can we hit?
I just like what's funny. I like what entertains me. I ain't gonna lie.
Media were the only guys just like him. Britain first, they had his back and was ready to fight beside him. But he wanna leave the country now and go to a white pride island.
Say there's like a island somewhere and it's just only white people. Where's the white privilege there? It's bars, blood.
Maybe he now wants to make the island Britain again. Cause I didn't think that he was racist first, but did in the end. And I didn't do this track for you, in fact I did it for them. The fans who asked, now let's not talk about this dickhead again.
Big head, you're such a big head.
Dickhead.
And everybody knows
This song is so hilarious. My kids love it.
You're a big head. You'll soon be dead.
Done.
And this is payback. This is payback. This is big
time.
head. You're such a big head. And everybody knows it, everyone but you. You're a big head. You'll soon be dead.
Right.
And this is payback. This is payback. This is payback time for what you
Boy.
I want to ask Barrington Levy.
Yeah.
What did he say? What did he have to say about all of this?
Bruh, do you know what? Like that, man. I don't even think it's right to explain why that's a question.
Like, I'm too experienced to be dealing with all this foolishness. We don't have time for this,
listen, I don't want to bring no one's family and all them kind of things into things. So check it. That's why I stopped this thing. Cause I done, we had the battle. He was attacking me. He done a couple songs first, and then I done that, and I done another one. Shut him down. Bare views straight away. The whole internet going mad. His thing didn't really get much attention, And then he started coming back at me. But I didn't listen to it straight away. But just from what I saw, I don't even want to explain too much of why. But then, he started bothering my baby mother and all kind of this new the Pusha T and Drake thing. Drake, it's a bit different because Pusha bodied Drake. You know what I'm saying? But Drake was just I'm not really gonna do this because it's man's trying to go all personal and involve rare. So that's not really I can't really. I got dramas going on with my baby mother already. I can't afford to have people bothering her. You know what I'm saying? And that's her next thing. That's not music. Man, that goes somewhere else. So he made 3 more diss songs for me, and I thought, you know what, the biggest disrespect I could do is just not listen to them. I've still to this day, I've never heard them.
See,
never.
And
I think now they've even been taken off the internet because he's embarrassed that they didn't even get no views or nothing. You know, and the mad thing is, if they did get views and he was trying to expose this or expose that, and everyone was talking about it, I would have had to respond. You know,
Yeah.
I would have had to do what Drake's done on his new album,
yeah.
and go on the album and explain all of this and that. But I ain't got to do that because nobody cared.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, you know, the end.
Boy, what can I say? So I think that's basically concluded the whole dilemma with my man there. But same time, you've been involved in a few other, I don't know, we can say conflicts or situations with other artists on the scene.
I don't know, man.
No, you don't know. Fair enough.
I can't remember. I don't know. Like,
everything is
what
good.
Currently?
Well, whatever, you know. Currently.
Can't think of that.
Recently, historically. Some, you know what I mean?
Bro, I'm about love, man.
Yeah.
You know, like, bruv, like, think about it, man. Like, in the last 3 years, I quit drinking. I've been just focused. I ain't been on a hype, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I've been trying to get my mind right, you know, everything, just trying to be about positivity and growth, and it's been the most, like, rewarding 3 years of my life. Before that, I used to drink and be hype and have, you know, I just don't take, like, you know, nothing from people. And I'll say things how it is, but I ain't actually, I got love for everybody, man.
Yeah. So these little situations, they're nothing, you know.
What situation?
Like even
I don't
with, it's not something that, because what it is right now is a lot of people are trying to say, oh, you know, a lot of, like, for instance, with the drill music, it's like, you know, that starting on record. And then
no, but that didn't start on record, though.
However, that's how they see it. Like, people dissing
each
other on record.
Those men are active gang members. You know what I'm saying? Like, I shouldn't even say that because that's what the press want to run with. But, you know, like, that's what they're saying. That's what they're saying themselves, and that's life. Like, they're from, you know, that's man them from one estate who got beef with the next estate, and it's real life. Like, sometimes people are born into that and they ain't got no choice. And it's survival. Yeah, and it's a mess. Like, it's a mess that situations are like that. We need to go in and see why, you know, have some conflict resolution in those areas where we can bring them people together. But that happened and then ended up on record. You know? This stuff here is just on record. People, like, hyping. You know what I'm saying? Like, and no one else, like, really, you know, maybe a couple other men have talked about me on record here and there, but no one really knows. You know? Yeah,
so it's not something worth responding.
Nah. Well, I don't know, innit? Like, bro, when people interfere with your family and all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's a different story. Well, I hear what you mean. Yeah, like, well, you know, I did try and play Louis Farrakhan
to set up a boxing match and that.
Initially, initially, I was like, I think, guys, you know, it's going a bit too far. It's been too many.
But he didn't want it.
So that's all I was.
Let's move on.
Yeah, moving on swiftly. Yeah. So, what I was going to ask you about, you got the new album.
Yeah.
What's the name of the new album?
The new album's called Damaged.
When's it out?
It's out August 31st.
What label's it out on?
Underworld Connect Records.
Cool. Any launch parties going on?
We'll do a launch party. You know, like, I ain't performed in 2 years.
Okay.
So I got to get back in the swing of that, and I want to bring something special when I come back and do that, right?
Yeah.
So the launch might be a bit after that. I want the album to come out. I want people to feel it. Maybe it will happen within the first month, but we'll do like a listening party. Yeah. You know, like, where I'm going to invite you down, and I'll invite all the industry people to come and listen, and maybe do an interview there in the room with, you know, people and talk about the album and stuff like that. But, you know, I made that album like almost 3 years ago. So I said I quit drinking 3 years ago, and that release date is kind of to coincide with that 3 years of sobriety.
Oh, okay.
And I made it at that time when I first quit drinking, and I was in a very low place. I was going through a breakup with my daughter's mom. It's weird listening to it now because I don't really feel how I felt when I wrote it. I'm not in that space. But sometimes you make the best art when you're in pain, you know?
Yeah. So
now, like, I carried on working on it. Like, I recorded it in 5 weeks. Yeah. Like, that time 3 years ago, 5 weeks, 4 or 5 weeks. Yeah. Put the mic on, started singing, messing with auto-tune, like different effects, and just being creative in a way, because I felt completely free coming out of a relationship I've been in for so long, where you're kind of with someone and you've got a certain routine, and also even just like you're kind of, you know, you're almost in one life in a certain way where their judgment is part of what you do, you know. But I just felt completely free. So I was just like, right, I'm going to create. And I made this music about what I was going through. And then I took it to Show and Prove. I took it to the other producers. Danny Bones produced a lot from the beginning. And my boy, Donny Bravo.
Shout out Donny Bravo.
Yeah, free Donny Bravo.
Donny Bravo.
I don't really like talking about that, but yeah, free Donny Bravo. You know, he I couldn't have made this album without him. Like he sat with me and brought his like genius ear of mixing and mastering and production and added bits of flavors to each song and then the mixes. And then since he ain't been around, you know, I've had to take his settings and things he taught me just to finish the finishing couple touches. But yes, it's you know, it's an album about a breakup. It's a conceptual album all the way through. It's about that breakup, but within that, it covers themes of, you know, that post-traumatic stress disorder. When, you know, I've been talking about with these drill artists that like a lot of them are going through post-traumatic stress disorder, right? You know, you're in the hood, you see all of this violence, all of that stuff, and I've been through some of that myself, you know, and like I'm telling a story of me and the woman I'm in a relationship with and stuff we've gone through that's damaged us as people from we're young and how that affects relationships together and it builds bad patterns and, you know, and alcoholism and it's deep, man. Like it sounds like, you know, to some people hear it and think actually, you know, it's just a love album or whatever and a breakup album and emotional, but there's a lot of stuff going on in there, man.
Yeah. Should we play something from the play something from the album?
Yeah, so you got a couple bits there, man. Well, the first single is out now.
Well, I have. You're right. I've got a few bits. All right, give me 1 second. I got a few,
Yeah.
but I've got some. You know, I've got.
What have you got?
I've got some. Is this the one? I've got some surprises, man.
Yeah, you got some surprises, yeah. Well, the first single's out now. It's called "See You Every Day," and this one, like, this song's about my daughter. You know, it's about me being in a time when Are we gonna play that one?
Yeah.
If I'm gonna talk about it.
Yeah. Okay. Look, let's find it.
It's a little folder called Novar. See You Every Day. But this song was about when I first went through a breakup with my daughter's mom. Just waking up in the morning and not being with my daughter every day, because you know she was 9-10 years old at the time, and I'd been with her every day mostly since she was born. You know, we lived together, I've been together. It wasn't about you know, it's taken a new meaning now to parents who don't get to see their kids for long periods of time. Like, and eventually that happened to me. I didn't see her for a year. But when I first made this song, I was seeing her on the weekends or every other weekend, and it was just about not being there every day and how painful that was. And then, you know, I didn't see her for about a year, and then I'd already made this record but long before that. But then, you know, I started seeing her. I got her to put a little vocal on the track. So she sang a little piece of the hook. Danny Bones produced it. He produced it originally, and the bulk of it I added a few flavors.
Yeah, shout Danny Bones.
Yeah, I couldn't have made this album without Danny Bones either. He's got the bulk of the musical production of the album, I would say.
Yeah, he's a musical genius.
He's definitely a musical genius, and he was a big like he taught me how to use auto-tune and like do certain things with harmonies and like.
Danny, it was you. So it was you, Danny. Wait till I see Danny.
He was ahead of his time.
Like wait till I see Danny Bones in Leeds.
Me and your brother both been saying this because your brother's been making like music in that lane as well, and we're both like, Danny was way ahead of the game.
Yeah, Danny
us, and like I couldn't. I have to thank him majorly that I couldn't have made this album without him, because I was sitting there like I got all these feelings, and I didn't want to rap about it. I wanted to sing, and I wanted to get it out in this way, and like he gave me the method to do that, and that was very healing for me. So you know, that's my brother. You know, sometimes me and him argue online recently, but you know, it's not deep. You know, that's my brother. It's love forever.
Big up to Danny Bones.
Also shout out to Lola Carmel, who also has vocals on this track. And Bones has got vocals on it too. There's 4 vocalists on this song.
Okay, can we run it? Let's run it.
It's out now. All that, you know, Spotify, iTunes, all them things there. Go get it. Video coming soon. Shot by Jimmy Chiba, featuring my brother Drassic. Cheese.
Yeah, man. Big tune. Is that one out yet? Yeah.
That one's out right now,
okay.
Man. It's out everywhere. Spotify and all of that. It's doing all right on Spotify. Bubbling on there. It's on my SoundCloud as well. I wasn't going to put it on there, but you can buy it on iTunes, all that. It's out everywhere, man. Yeah. Go get it.
So
video coming, though. The video, I dropped that on Father's Day, right? Okay. Because obviously it's connected to Father's Day, you know, a lot, and me not seeing my kid, other fathers not seeing their kids. But I wanted the video to drop that day, right?
Yeah.
I had like, I don't want to talk about this too much either, but dramas with my daughter's mum, it didn't happen because we had a video planned where my daughter was going to be in the video.
Yeah.
And then last minute, it was like, nah, you're not doing that video. Da, da, da. So I was like, cool, I got to plan another video. The video's going to come out better for it, but it made a delay, you know?
Yeah, okay.
So that's why the video's not out, but it's, you know, it's coming. We've shot a great video. It's coming out soon. And I actually had like, I had Fathers for Justice on board to back it and kind of support it as well. I shouldn't really hot this up too much, however, but some people kind of said some advice to me not to rant with them like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I kind of took that advice and thought I'm not going to go down that road. See if they can still share it, etc. And I'm sure they'll share it and it's relevant to their plight. You know what I'm saying? But I took the word father out of all the press release and changed it to parent because I know mothers that don't see their kids too. You know what I'm saying? Like I know it is there is a predominantly biased situation where fathers don't see their kids, but I know mothers who don't see their kids too. And it's not a song about that. It's not a song about the legal system. You know.
You know what? Some of these mothers don't see their kids.
Don't talk badness.
Let me tell you something, Nova. I'll tell you something. Yeah. Yeah. There's times where the law is unjust.
Yeah.
And there's times when the law is in that situation just, and it goes both ways. Don't get me wrong, yeah. But boy, I know some people ain't gonna agree.
What we need a support system.
Some genuinely bad parents out there.
Yeah, but we need a support system for those parents because why are they bad parents, bruv? Do you know what I'm saying? Like, why have they got into that position where they're not able to be good parents?
Some of them.
So how do we support them?
Some of them, yeah, because some of them are you are not. You can't try. You know, they're not safe. Some of you know what it is. Do you know what it is in most cases? It's usually a case of the person has got. So it's not necessarily that they're a bad person, but they've got a mental condition.
Yeah. So how do we help that? We don't have a system that supports the mental health services properly for young people, parents, nothing. So.
Oh yeah, well, of course. That goes without saying.
So let's show some.
We don't even have a system to stop people going mad in the first place. So
there you go.
You know, we just got to.
So I'm not one to be judgmental.
I hear you. Well, you know, there's a lot. You know, I think we're in these situations. Every case must be examined individually. Because I'm sure there's some fathers. You know, there's some people that would Fathers for Justice probably got what they deserved in that situation.
Wow.
What if a man was doing?
If
a man was on some, you know what I mean? If a man was dealing with some things and he was dealing with some things in it.
I'm not saying you're not right.
You know, there's a lot of animals out there. You know
I'm not saying you're not right ever, but you know, people still need to always be able to see their kids and have a fair system in place for that to be done in a safe way.
Right.
And the social services is not really that.
You are right. And I know a situation of some friends of mine, a couple. And they both got a kid, very beautiful daughter.
Yeah.
It's one of them ones, don't want to go give too much information out, but it's just one of them ones where nice couple, I know both of them, but something's happened where the dad has basically been, you know what I mean? Roy, he's been cut off.
He's been cut off.
Mate. Yeah. You know, and like it doesn't mean like I'm sure it's his fault. I'm sure it's his fault that he got cut off.
But think about the kids
because of the drug use. Do you see what I'm saying? Because of the drug use.
So
and that's the thing.
Where's the system to help that?
Well, boy, this is people. This is what I'm saying.
We're living in Babylon, isn't it? So it's just mad.
Yeah, and you know, at the same time, what you have to understand is people are sitting here with all the things that's going wrong in the world. They can see what's going wrong in the world and going on, but then they're still like, oh, but you know, if I end up as a drug addict, it needs to be. It's like, boy, you might be lucky. You end up as a drug addict or alcoholic. You might be lucky and get some help. But you can't guarantee you'll get help for anything in this country. You can't guarantee you'll get help for anything. Do you see what I'm saying? So even if, as a parent, you know what I mean, you might get help as a parent, but you can't guarantee you'll get any.
You won't.
Yeah.
But
you might do. You know.
Anyway.
The
song, you know, the song is a song about, you know, it's a song about love. You know, it's seeing like. your child, the person you love the most, and not being able to see them, and just I like. There's a couple notes in that song that I'm singing, right? That I'm like, oh, I don't like that note that I hit there, so I wanted to change it and revoke. And then I was just like, nah, there's no way I can fit that emotion again when I was in that raw feeling of when I wrote it.
Of course. Yeah. What other tracks do you have on the forthcoming album that you'd say are your most profound, or something that's, you know, something that you think, you know, people need to hear, or
that people need to hear? I don't know, man. This album was like, it's kind of, it was therapy for me. This album was a therapy album that I made. Like it was a healing process. Yeah. So it's not really, it's not a message album, you know. It's not an album that's a message for people. It will be healing for someone who's been in that situation, who's going through pain and hears it and relates to it, and realize that there's other people that feel like that, you know.
Yeah.
I was listening to Kanye West 808s and Heartbreak and getting that from it before I made it, and that's one of the big inspirations for it. But maybe My Addiction, the single, that was a single that's already out from a while ago as well. My Addiction might be something that people should people could get some goodness from, and I think did, you know. From, I talk about just like smoking weed and from young, and then the alcoholism, and a lot of people messaged me about that song.
Did you get? I just want to ask you. Did you get any? Because obviously you're quite known in the music scene. Did you get, when you became sober?
Yeah.
Did you get any fellow artists, coming to you asking for advice or help in how to quit? Yeah.
Loads.
What kind of drugs and substances were they trying to quit?
Like, not that they always told me, you know, but people. Mostly alcohol, you know. Yeah. Mostly alcohol is the root of, like, a lot of the time it's the root of the other drug use, you know. So, yeah. Some people came to me and was like, "Yo, how did you do it, man? Like, with this, I can't stop drinking, and I can't." And like, yeah, those are people who use a lot of other drugs. I look at you laughing because I know you're thinking of someone, don't I? But you know what, yeah. Just to give some context, Terra's being a troublemaker. He's talking about someone that I don't get on with anymore.
I say nothing.
But you know what it is? You know what it is? Listen, yeah. I wish them the best. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gave them advice at that time, and I still wish them to get to that place, man. Because all it is, like, my thing is, the person was asking me, how do you get through, you know, how do you deal with life? That's what it comes down to.
The sweats. How you deal with the sweats?
No, not the sweats. I don't know about that. How do you deal with your reality, the fact that you're not happy and comfortable with your reality, and you're not content with where you are in life? You're not happy, you're depressed, because that's why people are doing these things. Yeah, you're drinking, we're smoking weed all day, we're doing anything to cover up, you know, maybe not, anyway. To cover up, you know, trauma, to cover up things we're going through, to numb ourselves, right?
To fill that void.
And that goes all the way, obviously, to the more heavier drugs, and that's when you're really, really seriously in pain, right? So the whole process with me was, when I stopped drinking, was to learn to face those things without alcohol, like just learn how to sit and get through those things, you know. And I'm a big advocate for therapy. I think that people should go to therapy and talk about their problems. I went to 3 or 4 types of therapy in the last few years.
Yeah.
CBT therapy being one of them, which I'm about to go back to, but it's not my favorite, and I hear other people saying they don't like it, but some people love it because it's very practical. It's about coping mechanisms when you feel low and you feel like stressed and you might do something mad. It's about learning actual skills of things you can do to get yourself through that feeling. Instead
of like sparking up a joint or drinking a beer or doing a line or something, you know.
Exactly.
Okay. I hear you.
And you know, like, once you realise it, I just found a comfort in myself, and and just facing life, man. You know, it's still a process. I'm still going through it. And the truth is, I started to say I don't think I'll never drink again. Like probably maybe at some point in my life I might drink.
Yeah.
You know, but if it feels problematic when I do, then I'll stop again. But you know, like I wasn't like, it's mad because now people are like, oh, Novar, like I made a song about addiction and drinking, and it's like I didn't never drink every day. You know what I'm saying? Like I was never that kind of alcoholic like that. You know, but I would drink on the weekends and it would be a bit too much, you know what I'm saying? But what I did, my type of drinking is what half the country does and they think it's fine, you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
I realised it was problematic because I was doing it at a time when I was going through something too difficult, and I realised I was doing it because of that pain, right? And when I realised I was doing that, I said, no, I can't, because I'm not going to get out of it this way.
Yeah.
So I have to face this properly.
Also, I was going to ask, with the, flip with FLIP,
right?
What have you got in store for that in future?
I don't really know, man. Like
no.
FLIP, me and Big Ben branded the radio show we do, the Flip Life radio show.
Okay.
I branded the YouTube channel that we kind of started together, and I've run myself for a while now, Flip Life TV. So I ended up running, I got Flip Life Media. I ended up branding everything, and maybe that wasn't the best idea in a sense because now everything's under that brand, but really it's just the work I'm doing, you know?
Yeah.
But as a music group is what we started as. It's probably moved a bit away from that, that's all. But the Flip is just a family, you know?
Yeah.
That's my people's.
Yeah.
You know, it's a movement, it's on my skin forever. Flip Life, you know? F living in poverty, F living in pain. It will always be something I represent, and one day I would love one day to have for everyone to be in a position where we have the time to sit down and make an album.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Boy, one day.
Me and Bones talk about it every now and then. If it happens, me and Bones would probably have to be the key, the center of it, and we'd make it happen. But last time we spoke about it was since I made this album, and I was kind of like, but everyone everyone makes really different music. We was making, we've all gone in different directions. And Bones was like, yeah, that's why it'll be sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
That's true. I mean,
yeah.
Shout out Rag Sweet Jones, Big Ben,
Done
Danny
that
Bones,
always.
King Response,
Yeah.
Barry Knight, Wordsmith,
Show and Prove.
Jeez, the list,
Yayo.
Ruthless, Yayo,
Yeah.
London Wave.
Shout out Ruthless, big shout out to Ruthless, because when I was trying to get here, I hollered him.
Yeah, Ruthless is, if you, anything you want to know.
And he directed me in the right direction, boom, before I got through to you.
Big shout out to Ruthless, because, we're in his manor right now, paying homage.
Don't know.
Yeah, and big up to Ads Up. You know what I mean? So basically, we've got 5 minutes. So we got time for one more.
A record.
What do you reckon?
My addiction, I guess, man.
Play My Addiction.
We've been talking about
Fling
it.
that on then, if you can.
It's my addiction.
Yo, big up to everybody. Gonna see you same time, same place next week. Big up to Supernova. Big up to Pablo and the I Am In Radio crew. What you want to say, Nova?
You still call me Supernova, that's mad.
Oh, that's your name. Hey, listen, when you've been into UK hip hop for that long as me, you're Supernova.
It's just Nova now. I took the flip up as well.
Supernova from the Mud family.
Done know.
This is I'mInRadio.com.